Hey guys, People Coolest Gamers, backtrack to The Flash, Season 3, Episode 21, Cause and Effect. So that's a very appropriate, I would say, title here. We need to figure out what the hell's going on. We need to know the cause of how Savitar is created, so that we can then get the effect of him coming back in time and killing Barry. Last week we had the reveal, obviously, of Savitar being future Barry. How far in the future? I wish he looked a lot older. Like kind of gray hair kind of thing going on, almost like a Stein, but Barry. But no, that didn't happen. I was pretty excited by the reveal. I thought it was, was it predictable? Yes, it was predictable. The whole time that I've been discussing all season, as many of you have been, was it future Flash, like there's a comma there, or is it future Flash? No, it was future Flash, it's Barry. Yeah, it's a predictable thing, but I still think it's kind of cool. It's kind of been the theme of this season of Barry fucking up all the time, and he has to pay for his own mistakes. He has to pay for his own mistakes by fighting himself. There's been some interesting theories, and I might subscribe to one right now, that the finale is going to end with Barry sacrificing himself. He'll die while he will take over. Grant will be gone for maybe about 4 or 5 episodes, and then because speedsters really never die, he'll come back out of the Speed Force, and then the story will go on from there. I think that's a good theory I saw online that could totally happen. Other things last week was like a little bit of Joseph Steele stuff. It was kind of, it was just there. He's getting good work. That's glad. I'm glad for the story, but it was, pretty cookie cutter. And then the Caitlyn stuff, where she got the awesome Killer Frost outfit. We had that awesome shot through the city where she was riding around like Iceman. Who cleans up that ice afterwards? Who the hell knows? It's just crashing down on people's cars and in apartments there. But that was an awesome scene there. And then there was some tension between Julian and Cisco, but they kind of resolved it in the end. So there's a lot of great things I'm hoping for here. There's other couple things I kind of want to get out of the way. Some comments that I've seen. People citing back to episode 1 with the reverse Flash when he said, now who's the villain, Flash, now who's the villain. Yeah, that kind of ended up being a little bit of foreshadowing. So I thought that was cool. I saw a lot of other people kind of disappointed by the reveal. They were expecting something totally shocking. And yeah, I kind of wanted that as well. I don't know how this works. What kind of time loop are we in? They have to answer these questions here. The past episode 21s in Flash were one of my favorite episodes of the series. Runaway Dinosaur last year, and then the year before that, we had our first real Grodd episode. So this better be a heavy exposition episode. Normally that's not something you ask for, but I'm asking for it here because they have a lot of explaining to do with only 3 episodes to go. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so we're going to pick up right from there, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like
I love that suit.
Not quite.
Yeah. How did that happen?
So scary without your armor.
Some people theorize it's a time remnant.
Your time remnant.
Alright, so it is a time remnant.
Duplicate.
Cool.
It changed everything.
So it brought him back somehow?
All but one.
Okay, so that did mean something. Figured that.
I lived. And that's when I realized the truth, Barry. God feels no pain. All I had to do
So he lost it a little bit.
for Iris to die, so that you are driven so far into the dark.
He'll come Savitar again. Alright.
And the other?
So keep the cycle going. Cause and effect.
But I'll keep that one to myself.
God damn it, what is the second thing? Oh, shit. Pulling a zoom.
He worked so well for Eddie, did it? Shot himself in the chest. Dawn still.
Yeah, and then he got reborn.
That's the thing about time travel, Barry. The more you do it, the less the rules apply to you. But us having this conversation now, we're changing the future.
This is true. Now you know who he is.
Be you, who is abandoned and forgotten.
So he wants to be the real Flash. I was saying, don't let him into the suit. Nice shot. There you go.
My suit's cooler than
Cool. Oh my god, the suit can be sentient. That is awesome. It's like an Iron Man thing. Yes, nice job, Savitar. Right back in the suit. I love that. What are they doing? Lightning? Okay. Here we go. Clash time. Yeah, lightning. There we go. That is an awesome shot. I love that. Damn, look at it. The hell? We destroyed everything. Good thing we weren't in a heavily populated area. How is Barry going to explain this to everyone? It's going to be a really awkward conversation.
Voyager. I hate Smash. That explains why Caitlyn was willing to follow him. He has a face that she trusts.
Yep, it was only Barry or Ronnie she would trust.
Agents found that message in the wave rider from old you saying don't trust
Okay.
Barry. He was talking about Savitar, Barry.
Literally. Alright, so I'm glad that came full circle, the wave rider message.
Hate this.
Explain, Cisco.
Goes back in time.
So and it just keeps going over and over and over.
Which came first, Savitar or Time Remedy?
Chicken or the egg, right?
No beginning, no end. It's just one endless cycle.
One infinite loop.
Scenario, I think, gang. Why would you want to kill that?
Because you abandoned him.
How are we ever going to come up with a plan to stop him?
It's a good point, Wally. It is a good point. We got to find a way to break that loop, that cycle. There's got to be a place where we can find a way in and break it. Yeah, so about me killing you, sorry about that.
Part of him is.
It is him in some way. He went back in time and made another version of himself.
But you don't ever do that.
Alright, but it's a fine line. And that other Barry, he crossed it.
From losing you.
Yeah, and ironically, he also kills him. He kills Iris. It is him.
You are not alone, he is.
That's what created the problem in the first place. Maybe he just needs some family. And maybe he'll stop this.
What am I gonna have to become to stop him?
You're gonna have to become just like him. Just like Zoom told you were gonna be like that. He's gonna have to kill himself.
Wanna give me a permit?
Not quite. So if we cut that off, then we'll be able to be on an even playing field. What's going on? Is he alright?
Who's Barry?
Ah, damn it. We went too far. No. We can't have Barry not know anything. We went too far. If he doesn't know anything, then he'll never know that he's the Flash or remember any of the skills he has, and then he's just as useless as he was when Savitar was 2 steps ahead. Alright, so interesting here. Okay, so let's make this very quick. So it's what people suggested, what I was thinking last week. It's just this kind of infinite loop that goes around and around and around. From what I understand, it seems that when the time remnants Barry created in 2024, 2020, whatever it was, when he defeats Savitar, that time remnant then becomes basically shunned. He gets shoved out of the way and off, right? That's done. He then loses his mind and becomes Savitar. Savitar, who came back in time to fight future Barry, he keeps one of those time remnants alive, so then they can start the cycle again, so make sure that Savitar stays existing so that that one will become Savitar. My question that I'm not understanding, because it is a complicated thing, in the first place, how does that whole Savitar be created? And they kind of mention it like, oh, who came first? And it's like, oh, it's just infinite. That's, you know, I guess it's the old adage of the chicken or the egg kind of first, but for a second I thought he was talking about he's the time remnant from the end of season 2, but he's not, because then it wouldn't make sense. He wouldn't have all the memories of what happened. So I have some questions here. I'm glad. I'm going to also see it another time when I'm editing this, but I also like how the whole Wave Rider thing, because we did suggest a lot of people, you know, kind of in the comments and things like that, other reactors, I did myself, of, is that it? The 2056 message was just about the aliens? Why was it so far in the future? It doesn't make any sense. Now, I guess it makes somewhat of sense. Still, I think they need to go back to that, because if it's so far in the future, it's that Barry, right? We already met 2024 Barry, so then that means that that trajectory Barry was broken, but at some point he came back to make that message. So like there's a lot of confusing aspects there, but I'm glad they at least mention it. So let's go forward and learn more.
You, Henry Allen. That's not a good name.
Look, Barry.
We shortened it to Barry.
Bart feels more natural to me.
No, that's a relative. Bart is a relative. That'll come in the future. We gotta drug him. He's freaking out.
Look at these photographs.
Good call, Iris. That's it. Rein him in. We're not lying to you. You've just lost your memory. Good job, Iris. We calmed him down. Get him back in the chair. It's you, you dumbass.
Yes, sir.
Cisco knows he is dead right now.
I'm your brother.
Oh my god, that was literally amazing. He doesn't remember. He doesn't remember he has it. Shit, we are so fucked.
Accelerated matter microgenerator projectile.
Yeah, you gotta need an acronym for that. HR, it is not the time to be pulling this shit. We need her to build. I have a feeling that the two of them are gonna be shipped off at the end of the season, and we're gonna get a new Wells. you're a superhero and we're fighting an evil version of yourself. It's really hard to explain, not important. He's gonna choke you, you keep talking. So he's losing the memory too. Alright, so it did work in that regard that as long as our Barry is fucked up, that Barry's fucked up. Too bad we can't just keep it that way or somehow reverse our Barry and it fixes, you know, the future Barry. But again, it's a future Barry. They're intertwined, they're connected. Which again makes me think that people are right and that I am right and that Barry will have to kill himself because otherwise how do you get rid of yourself? If he puts himself back in prison, doesn't the whole cycle start again? Or does he eventually just naturally become that? How does that work? The Speed Force is outside of time. So there's a lot of interesting things there. Best moment of that entire, from commercial break to commercial break, was Wally going, because I was like, how is he going to explain this, right? And he's just like, oh, I'm your brother, right? And he's just like, he looks down at his skin color. Absolutely freaking brilliant writing right there.
Loved Dragon Ball Z.
Hey! DBZ shout out.
I couldn't explain that show to you even if I wanted to.
It's like going on a first date again. Oh, I just want to picture Grant taking those pictures.
It's really nice to see you smiling so much.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to it's like meeting him for the first time again. It's just that moment that you can get back. Oh, alright, so we're going to transmit some kind of waves through the glasses, I assume. He looks very sophisticated. He looks almost like his Earth 2 counterpart. Ah, they're going to text it to him. You better type fast. God damn it, Julian. Not the time. Oh, the sweat might ruin the glasses.
I like it.
Cisco don't want to die. Oh, the sweat is gonna ruin it, god damn it. Barry, you got to come up with this on the fly.
Can you continue?
Say no, and can we delay the trial till tomorrow?
We're very yellow.
We couldn't have put in some kind of protection against, like, liquids on that?
It sure is.
Ah, shit.
I don't have high speed.
Why?
And I know why.
Oh, because
I'm
it's...
gonna fix this and help you.
Got it. Wally doesn't have his speed because Savitar gave him the speed, and since Savitar was never created because of what happened to this Barry, Wally in turn doesn't get speed. All connected.
This is our place?
Yeah, you have a lot of money. Oh shit, he's gonna ask about his parents. Fuck.
That's why you
Good.
can't live with Joe and me.
Exactly, you don't want to explain that two different speedsters murdered them.
I have a feeling that's because you entered my life.
Look at this man, still has a game, he doesn't even know who he is. He's pretty sure his name is Bart. And he's still got that game. Barry, you've been down this road and farther before many times. But that's very cute and gentlemanly like that you don't think you have been. Ah, right. He's not good. It's the same thing that happened with Linda.
What just happened to me?
You got too excited and your powers came into check there. It's the same thing what happened with Linda. Alright, so this episode is, for all the stakes going on, is surprisingly hilarious. Killer Frost probably got information from Savitar or figured out herself. Caitlyn is a genius. There is still Caitlyn in there. She still has all of that knowledge. Unlike Barry at the moment and Savitar. But it's a whole loop. Because Savitar loses his speed, because of Barry losing his memories, they're both fucked up. And then since Savitar gave the powers to Wally, he doesn't have his speed, even though he still knows who he is. So everything's all messed up here now. And Arsonist is out on the loose. That was a hilarious court scene. I don't understand how we couldn't have just put plastic. Like, you're under the gun, I get it. But just put plastic over the freaking glasses, and we could have fixed that situation. But for TV, we have to make it dramatic. So we'll have to see where that goes. Because it just seems like he's a normal arsonist, which is bad. But he's not a supervillain. He's not even a heat wave. So I think we'll manage. Yeah, we gotta clear Barry out of the room because he has no idea. Yes, she used to be a good friend of yours, and now she's a supervillain.
Life's full of difficult choices. Or isn't that really a chance you're willing to take?
She's playing them. She's doing a good job, though. She has some ulterior motive, whether it's to become a god as well or whatever, but we'll have to see. She's really moving in on it, man. She's the aggressor. Kiss out of the way. Now back to building trap.
Also, don't refer to yourself in the third person.
That's a good point, Cisco. This is a cool concept of having the villain work with the heroes. It's been done, but I like it. Because it is her. She's a split personality. She's trying to bring back old Caitlyn to try to beat Killer Frost.
You actually reminded me a lot of him. Anyway, so
Alright, keep going. Keep going, Cisco. There you go. Caitlyn has to come back at some point. Maybe we can win her back.
you're in every single one of them, Caitlyn.
It's his best friend. Maybe we're getting to her. Come on, Caitlyn, you're in there somewhere.
I think that I could be a superhero.
You were, Barry, for like 30 years. It's like basically a discount heat wave. That's basically what this guy is. It's a discount heat wave, and instead of a gun, he has a flamethrower. Whose idea? I want to talk to the judicial courts. Whose idea was it to put this guy, I assume, up for parole or whatever, because he was in prison already. So if Barry is to come in and testify, that means he probably has an appeal or some kind of parole. Someone like that shouldn't even have had that opportunity, or he should be on some kind of ankle monitor or have a parole officer. Look what he's doing as he's right out there. Other things, I kind of get where Iris is coming from. It's completely illogical. Of course Barry can't say this way. This is not our Barry. He's had a lot of tragedies, but he has had a lot of good things, and that is not the Barry. Yes, it is refreshing that this Barry is so happy he's not weighted down. You like seeing him smile. I get that. But we need to get this Barry back. I also get on the side of not getting him back just because it doesn't bring back Savitar, but then you leave the city, besides the Savitar risk, you leave the city at risk to people like Heatmonger, so we'll have to see what happens. I assume we'll get his memory back at the end of the episode. How? Who knows? This whole Caitlyn, Cisco, Julian dynamic, especially Caitlyn and Cisco, maybe we can reach old Caitlyn and bring her back out, so here's the hoping.
The streak isn't a bad.
No, we tried that. Don't. Wow, he acts fast. What about Killer Frost? She's got cold powers.
I forgot this.
Right, yeah, you need that. Good job. Iris, help us out. Describe a memory.
She was murdered.
Alright, maybe tragedy is the best way to spark it. Doesn't Iris look so much older than him? Even though they're supposed to be the same age?
I realized that that was the night that we fell in love.
Really? That far back?
That we realized
Damn.
it was a good one. That will get you through it.
Probably more good than bad. You just had some really, really bad ones. Shit. Alright, Savitar, just don't interfere. Yeah, that's right, because Wally gets back his powers too. Good work, that's it. Flashy Kid Flash, taking down the fires, saving some people. This is a very cool shot. Even though it's all CGI, obviously, it's awesome still. Hey, Wally, maybe you should consider upgrading your suit with a flamethrower. It's not a bad look. That was a pretty powerful moment. It's not the first time Iris has done that, but in comparison to, I think it was, Flashpoint, episode 1 of the season, when she kind of had that moment of like, that Iris would know what to say, but I don't, but I believe in you. This moment, way more powerful, connects them falling in love with each other. Now, when she thinks about it, she realized it then at probably 11, that they felt all in love all the way back then. It made her cry. That was a sweet moment in a mix of a tragedy that happened. And tragedy, sometimes pain is the thing that spurs your memory the most, that it sticks in there. So it ended up working here. We got our two speedsters back, but we also got Savitar back. So I want to see how this whole Caitlyn Killer Frost thing wraps up.
Please tell me we're not going to just let her walk out of here.
Yeah, I think we are, even though we should put her in the pipeline.
I love you.
It ain't good. It's a good, nice sentiment, Julian, but
I don't love you, Julian.
yeah, it ain't gonna work.
I never did.
Damn, that's an ice pick to the heart.
Any of you.
Ouch. Alright, well, at least Julian didn't get singled out there in the end. Everyone got destroyed. I do agree with Joe, though. Alright, Caitlyn, for a moment, she's fighting in there, but still, kind of stupid that we didn't let her out of the building. We should have fought her and put her in the pipeline.
I did the same thing months ago.
Yep, you said that in episode 1. I'm finally free, I'm home. Even tragedy could shape who you are. HR, bad timing. Yeah.
That's more energy than in the sun.
Fuck! Well, that's an issue. How did we do it the first time? Ah, the Dominator weapon. That could work. I like how they have their own theme music, the Dominators. Oh, fuck! How did King Shark get out? Oh my god, we don't need any more problems. What the fuck? Alright guys, I have a reaction to The Flash. It's season 3, episode 21, Cause and Effect. It's crazy to think we only have 2 episodes to go. Next week is the penultimate episode of the season. It's certainly, from the story, even though I really like this episode, it was probably one of the more hilarious episodes in a long time. We did get some answers. I definitely also want to watch other people's videos, and you guys feel free down below to explain more of the Savitar thing to me, and I'll also probably, when I'm editing as well, I'll see it more. Really like the episode, but it just doesn't feel like they're shaping up to the end of the season, and especially at the end of the episode, that tag there that I'll get to with King Shark. It feels weird. Like, why are we not addressing more of the battle on with Savitar? So for me, there's 4 main points in the episode. I think right off the bat, we got to start with Savitar. Then I think in the second main point, I like to call this kind of Barry forgets. I think that is a fitting thing. A lot of hilarious moments, connection to Iris there. Then the third main point of the episode is Killer Frost, but that also, it ties into the rest of the team and Julian and Cisco, especially Cisco. And then the fourth main point is freaking King Shark. Why? How is this happening? Why is he back? I guess he got out of Argus. Is he working? He's gonna work for Savitar? Is it just gonna be another villain of the week thing? Even though it is King Shark, which is awesome, but like we're not gonna have Savitar's story again for the penultimate episode, so I don't know. So I'll kind of give my theories here. So starting with the first main point, so Savitar. So I said it early in the episode. I'm not going to go too far into it because I want to look more into it, and I want you guys to help me understand it down below. For me, it seems to understand that when he referenced back in time the end of season 2, that was just explaining that Barry's created a time remnant before you know what it is. But it also seemed to suggest that it was that Barry, and that's how his face got burnt. And the other cool thing I liked is his face is not only all fucked up, his eye is like clattered over. He might be blind in that eye. So that could be an interesting thing there. So that's, from what I understand, it was not the time remnant from the end of season 2. But it also could be. Maybe I'm totally misreading that down below. Otherwise, maybe that does explain the scar. It doesn't. I don't think it does, but maybe that's what he was saying. So I'll have to look into that. And then it's just this kind of infinite, kind of racetrack-shaped 8 loop going on. So at some point, somehow, Savitar is created from a time remnant. The time remnant is created from future Barry. Savitar kills all of them but one. So, to ensure that he'll still exist, because then that Barry will slowly descend into madness because he's pushed away by everyone, and Iris also dies, and then that Barry then becomes Savitar. So, from what I understand, it's, even though both of those Barrys lose Iris in the future Barry and then the time remnant future Barry, it's, even though our future 2024 Barry pushed everyone away, people were still there. He could have those people. That's why he didn't lose it. The other Barry lost Iris, and then everyone said, fuck you, you're not the real Flash. And that made him lose his mind. So that's, I think that's how I understand it. It also ties in the 2056 message. Somehow, Barry, 40 years in the future, or at this point now 39 or so years in the future, he tells past Barry, and well, he actually told Captain Hunter, he said, don't trust me, because he realized the whole Savitar thing happened. So then where is Savitar in the timeline? Savitar's got to be around after the 2024 period, it seems like, or about that. So how does then 2056 Barry, wouldn't he be Savitar the entire time from there on? That I'm confused about. So I also want more clarification on that. So yeah, I'm pretty confused still what's going on. I think I need to look into it more. And normally a lot of these scenes, I feel like, especially like at the end of season 2, right? I thought the worst writing there when Barry's fighting Zoom, they're saying, Team Flash is saying the most obvious things and treating the audience like they're so stupid. It's like, no, we understand what the hell's going on because we understand the context of the show. This, I feel like, maybe I'm not getting it. I just feel like it definitely needs to be even explained even more. I think the Savitar Barry needs to meet the rest of the team. just to see Iris alive again and all that stuff. Maybe she can talk him down. I don't know. Maybe making that Barry feel loved and he won't lose his mind and he'll give up this villain thing. I don't know. But it seems weird that all of that stuff happened and he just said, oh, God doesn't feel pain, so I'll become a god. And then he kind of created this myth that he was the first one. Yeah. Weird. So I'm going to hold off on more Savitar thoughts. I've already said enough on it. I don't want to ramble anymore, so please feel free to help me understand this down below. The second main point of the episode here for me is Barry forgets. So absolutely some of the most touching and hilarious moments this event created. It went a little bit too far from what Cisco and Julian predicted because they said his flash powers kind of accelerated everything, basically. Everything that happens to Barry, he accelerates in healing, his speed and everything. So when an event happens, something like that, messing with his physiology and his brain in that way, and his brain waves, it's tripled or it's whatever. It's worse than you predict for a normal person. So that's why he forgot, like, everything. Very hilarious that he kept wanting to call himself Bart, which is obviously a reference to Bart Allen, who in most continuities, as far as I remember, he's Barry's grandson from the future, and then sometimes he comes back in time, he comes back in Young Justice. There's been several iterations. I thought Smallville did a pretty, even though I've not watched every single episode of Smallville, I've seen episodes here and there when it was airing, and even now, recently. And I thought that Bart Allen was actually pretty cool. That was kind of their version of the Flash on the show. So, making those references, absolutely hilarious. I said the best joke of the episode was Wally saying, I'm your brother, and him looking at the skin color. The best joke of the episode. Just how to, him interacting. He doesn't know anything about being a CSI. So that courtroom scene was funny. Julian using emojis there. Yes, it's a little ridiculous that a drop of sweat gets on the glasses and they're just fried and they're destroyed. We couldn't have put plastic over them. Yes, a little stupid, but it's kind of for the story purposes. There was other, hilarious moments as well. Him realizing him having his powers. I'm so, this is so cool. I should be a superhero. It's like, Barry, you've been a superhero for like 3 years, bud. So those were hilarious moments. And then it also went to the touching side, where the sweet moments between him and Iris, and kind of Iris being allowed to explain to him again. It's kind of not only your first date, but like meeting a person for the first time, where even in some ways better than that, because for Iris, she still remembers all the good parts and the bad parts of Barry, but now she could just focus on the good parts because this Barry's a clean slate. So that made for some very hilarious, kind of sweet moments. Him afraid to kiss her. He had that whole Linda situation kind of thing again, where he got excited. He was getting a little hot and heavy there with Iris, and then he doesn't know how to control his powers when he's dealing with that. So he kind of lost it there. So I'm glad that they kept at least their continuity of that. That made sense because, he didn't know how to deal with it the first time, and now he forgot how to deal with it. They never explained how he actually got control of his powers in that regard, but I guess just like anything else, he just figured it out. So it made for those great moments there. It also made for tragic moments. Remembering his parents, and then she was kind of holding off. No need to explain that they died by 2 different evil speedsters in 2 different times. But then she had to explain that to bring back his memories fully. And I think that was, even though Candace and Grant were not on screen together, I think their, chemistry in a way, I don't know if they shot that at the same time, they didn't. But I think that moment really worked well, and, Iris crying there too, but it was so sad. I'm so sorry, she's saying that I have to remind you of these horrible things, but it brought him back, brought Wally back as well, brought Savitar back, unfortunately. So those were some great moments, some sad moments, some tragic moments, some sweet moments, but I really enjoyed that for hilarious things. I didn't expect them to do that in an episode 21. Last season we did a different kind of episode 21 as well. But we were getting Barry's powers back after being without them for 3 episodes. It was him dealing with his mother's death, which would then even play more into the entire show 2 episodes later. So that made sense. So for here, really like that. I like when Flash kind of gets back to some of their humor, because we have been very dark the last couple seasons, I would say. Third main point of the episode here for me is Killer Frost. And this connects to Savitar as well as Cisco and Julian and the rest of the team. So I did not expect her to come back into the team, into the Cortex, into Star Labs, and work with the team. But that was an interesting dynamic. It's been something that's been shown before on other shows where the villain's got to work with the hero, but they have to be, completely kind of the enemy is my friend, but not even that. They have to be completely calm. They can't be at each other's throats. They need each other for some reason. They want something from each other. So that was a cool dynamic that they brought that into the show, especially given how, this is not your normal, Captain Cold end of season 1 kind of thing. This is no, Caitlyn was a part of our family, and now she's been turned into this, monster killer who actually hasn't even killed anyone yet. At least this Caitlyn hasn't. But I like that dynamic. Julian saying "I love you" at the end of the episode. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't nail it for me just because they haven't had so much relationship time. I think that the points that nailed it for me were Cisco, him, describing this old story of not only their friendship, but also bringing Ronnie into that. So you're trying to get those little moments of Caitlyn restarted, maybe her overtaking Killer Frost. It's going to take a lot more, though. Maybe a tragic moment, kind of like a Hawkgirl, Hawkman thing, where they'll snap out of it, kind of when something tragic's happening. So maybe if Savitar has Barry, maybe that will bring her out or something. Who knows? Or if Cisco's at risk, but those were some sweet moments. I really did like that. I even though it doesn't totally connect me, the Julian part, it was still a great acted moment by Tom Felton saying, I promise I will cure you and everything else. And it did get to Caitlyn. It did get to Killer Frost. A moment, a millisecond of Caitlyn did come out. Those beautiful brown eyes did come out there for a second. So, yeah, like that stuff. I wonder also how they filmed that. I guess maybe they digitalized her eyes there because they couldn't have filmed just quick cuts right there of she's in the context, all right, for a second, now stand there, and back again. So I wonder how they did film that. Maybe they edited it in after she took out her context for the day, but all that stuff was really cool. Yes, it was stupid that even Joe's saying the obvious, why are we just going to let her leave? They should have fought her right there in the Cortex. It was the three of them. Even get Julian out of there. Bring Wally in. 2 speedsters and Cisco. Capture her and put her in the pipeline. I think that was just a classic kind of cliche move that we want to keep part of the villain in it when you could have easily defeated the villain even though she isn't the main one. But yes, that is stupid. I would like the decision more if it has repercussions. If she actually kills a member of the team. And it's yes, it was stupid that you didn't get him, but now in the sense of the story, it's look, you fucked up. Another consequence you're going to have to live with. But we'll see about that going forward. But yes, that dynamic was very cool. For the main point of the episode here, not much to say. It's just King Shark. So I guess he got out from Argus's protection. I don't think we're going to be bringing Diggle and Lila. I'm not caught up on Arrow at all, so don't let me know. But I don't think we'll be bringing them back. But I guess he got out. He's in the same place where we're also holding the Dominator kind of mind control weapon that, whammied everyone, including Supergirl. Apparently that has the power to power the, I guess we're calling it the Speed Force Bazooka. It has the power to do that. I don't know how the Dominator weapon, I know they're futuristic, but how it has the power or more power than the sun. But apparently it does. So yeah, weird to see King Shark show up. I'm excited, of course, love King Shark. Want to even see him do more. I'm glad that he's around and they're somehow doing this full CGI character on TV. However, as a penultimate episode, I'm not sure how this is going to fit in here. I really wanted a lot of Barry Savitar connection. So we'll have to see. I'll hold off judgment there. The other little main point, as I touched on in the episode, was kind of HR and Tracy. They kiss. There's some kind of relationship. I think both of them are going to be shipped off after the season, and we'll kind of get another Wells. Hopefully we'll get Harry back. That would be really cool. But we have a lot of lingering questions of getting Jay out of the Speed Force and Jesse back from Earth 3. Is she just going to go back to Earth 2 again? There's a lot of weird things going on. But yes, they did kiss. They had this moment. She was the aggressor in it, which was pretty funny. But she figured it out. She built it a lot sooner than she ended up coming up with the idea and building it in 2020 or whatever it was. Seems very quick of how quickly she built it, but I guess Star Labs has all this stuff. You have future knowledge and things like that. you could have had assistance, maybe off screen from Cisco or someone else. And she built it, and now we just need to get this Dominator weapon, but it looks like we're going to have to get through King Shark to do that. Cecile was a little bit in this episode as well, now that she's part of the whole kind of Barry kind of family thing going here. And there was this guy Heatmonger who was kind of like a discount Heatwave, but the more and more they show Cecile, it also makes me think that she's going to die as well. I still think Joe is going to die at the end of the season, but now I will open up to the theory that Barry will kill himself. So that is a total possibility. So overall, guys, that's kind of my thoughts here on The Flash. Season 3, Episode 21, Cause and Effect. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below. I really liked it. It doesn't feel like we're shaping up for an end of the season, so let me know how you feel about that. But give me your likes, your dislikes, any Easter eggs I missed. What were some of your favorite, hilarious moments here? What do you think of some of the sadder moments? How are we going to deal with the whole Caitlyn thing, being killed across? Was it stupid to let her go? Because yes, it was. I guess it just kind of one of those things of plot, just serves the story. So let me know what you think about that. Julian saying I love you, Tracy and HR getting together. How do you feel about, I guess, another person knowing in Cecile? The moments between Barry and Iris, the Savitar explanation. Please explain that to me. And any other thoughts, predictions, theories you have on The Flash and next week's episode, as it's the penultimate episode, please let me know them down below. As always, though, no spoilers. Like the video, subscribe, channel, share with defensive UBs, and until next week of The Flash, guys, thanks for watching.